Alright, this video I'm going to show y'all my install of my headers and mid-pipes on 2014 Chevy SS. These are the headers I got. I went with the JBA headers. I know a lot of people probably have issues or concerns with JBA headers, whatever. I've had JBA before on my 04 Pontiac GTO. Didn't have any problems with the quality or anything. So I went with them here, obviously, because of price. And also, I'm not looking to make big power, but I also liked how they had V-band welds, or V-band flange, excuse me, on their ends. For the mid-pipes to go, I got the catted mid-pipes. These are the headers. I'll just give you a quick overview. Like I said, I didn't see any issues. All the welds look good. I did get the titanium ceramic coated version. So, like I said, there's a little extra coating. Trying to keep the temperatures down. I didn't really feel like wrapping them. Like I said, man, to me, all the welds look good. I don't really see any issues. Let's see. Inside looks good. Flanges look good. I said, I know one thing people did complain about was how on the flange side, the actual pipes kind of came up a little. But like I say, to me this isn't an issue. I flat edged it straight, and I know a lot of old school headers, this is kind of how they were. To me, I think it's a little bit better, because I think it puts greater emphasis around the actual exhaust cylinder that's exiting. So I think it's better. Like I say, this is both of them. This is what I'll be putting on. Also, I forgot they included manifold gaskets. I'm not going to use these. I'm going to use the multi-layer steel ones. Hopefully my stock ones are fine, but not I'll get more. They have hardware, exhaust manifold bolts, as well as the two V-band flanges. And also, I guess if you wanted to build your own exhaust, they provided a pipe with a flange on it that meets up with their V-band. So if you wanted to do your own thing.
I got the car in the air. I noticed something. I thought from the factory these were just slip joints, but I don't know, maybe it's changed, maybe it was a different year on mine. Actually welded. So for the mid pipes work, I'll probably have to cut it, because I believe it attaches right about here, which is right where, after the second cats, right before the H pipe, I believe it connects right here. Like I say, the ad I saw, or even the one I saw, I can't remember the magazine, everything came slip jointed, but mine is welded. So like I said, I didn't see any other spots for it back there either, so I'll have to cut this. Hopefully it slips on. I'll figure it out once the mid pipes get here, but for now I'm gonna just go ahead and disconnect this first cat. I'm gonna start with these bolts right here, the end flanges of the first cat. These are 15mm bolts. So I'm gonna go ahead and do those. Like I say, it's 4 total. I'm gonna go ahead and do those. Alright, once you have those 2 bolts, those 2 nuts, excuse me, off, this rear bolt doesn't remove. It's welded. It's welded on there, so that shouldn't come off. You just, say, loosen this nut. Once you loosen it, this flange will be there. You can remove this flange. That just, like I said, holds the pipe on for this little donut cone. I also went ahead and unplugged the rear O2 sensor. The plug for it was right here on the left side of the transmission, and then just simply curl back into there. It's just a simple push back, pull back tab, pop right off. Same thing for this side. On the right side of the transmission, there's the O2 sensor mounted up here, and like I said, same thing, just pulled it out, and that was for the rear one on the passenger side. Also, went ahead and remove those, same thing. Pull it back, it'll expose this donut seal. So the next thing I'm gonna do is get this cat out the way, because since this actually, yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and get those cats out the way. The bolts for those are on the top side, so I'm gonna go ahead and loosen those 2. Driver's side, the same exact thing on the passenger side, and then that'll just let me drop this cat out the way. If you can see it, there's that rear, the forward driver's side O2 sensor connect way up there. We'll see. Hopefully that won't be a problem with the headers. This side, the passenger side, like I say, I don't know, you may be able to see that blue tab right there. That's it, and that's way back there on the kind of the rear passenger side cylinder head. This is the passenger side exhaust. So it's like I say, that little blue tab that you'll see right there. So I'm gonna go ahead and undo those bolts. Actually, I'm gonna try to get those unplugged first, the O2 sensors first, and then I'll unbolt, like I say, that one bolt there, and then there's the other one there from the top side. That I can just go ahead and move the cats out the way. Actually came up here to the top. Good revelation. That O2 sensor. Let's see if I can get in here and show you. It is right there. Hopefully that's good enough light. There it is. So I'm just gonna disconnect that, and I'm gonna try to get that the port that it's plugged into is has a little plastic tab just mounted onto that metal bracket. I'm gonna try to loosen that. That'll hopefully give me the room I need to get it to reach the headers. I don't know, I may not even need extra room, but I'm just gonna go ahead and do it now while I'm up here. Hopefully that'll help me out in the long run. Driver's side, I can see this one vaguely right there. Like I say, that one's gonna be a little harder to get to, but I should be able to get to it fine. And like I said, hopefully I can just get that plastic tab out of there so I can get the extra length I need for it to connect to the long tubes. All right, I got the driver's side loose. Like I said, as you see, this is just the pull tab that it was on. Like I said, just little plastic clips that snapped into that bracket, so I just pulled that out. And that definitely seems to have given me a good bit of room, so hopefully that'll be all I need to get there. For now, I'm gonna sit this up here. Sit it up there like that. Yep. I'm also gonna go ahead and remove the spark plug wires while I'm here. I already did the passenger side. I'm gonna go ahead and disconnect that O2 sensor and pull that one out of the plastic tabs as well. Alright, so I got the O2 sensors disconnected both sides, and I got them out of the plastic bracket, just that little pin that was holding in this this piece right here. That popped that out of the bracket that they were sitting on both sides. The other sides still don't seem like I'm getting much movement, so I don't know about that one. We'll see. But I was planning to go ahead and tackle those bolts here to get that cat all the way off. Then I actually started thinking about it, and I think I'm just gonna take the manifold itself off and just take that all off as one piece. It'll all just be able to drop right down. That'll be one less thing I have to unbolt. Like I said, I can just worry about the exhaust manifold for now. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go ahead. I already took the coil wires off. I'm gonna remove the spark plugs, and I'm gonna go ahead and drop the manifold and that first cat as one assembly. All right. Got the driver's side manifold removed. I was a dummy. I should have removed spark plugs. Make sure you remove your spark plugs before you do it, but I was kind of forgot about it. That's my fault, but I got them out fine. I didn't disconnect the steering rack either, because I knew I would have more room to get to it to put the headers in. I'm actually going to try to get them in without disconnecting it, but we'll see how that goes. Manifolds over here. There's a stalker. Header, you see they're pretty much exactly the same size. Even the way the tubes run are kind of close, so I'm gonna go ahead and disconnect this O2 sensor, get it in the header, and I'll try to feed it up and see how kind of luck I have. All right, so I got the headers in. Like I said, I had to disconnect the steering rack. I put it back already. I'll try to put the torque references, if I can find it, in the description so you'll know the torques of everything. I went ahead, I actually did take the spark plugs out just to give myself room, like I said, but I got them in there. I stuck it in from the bottom, and I went and I pretty much got this first bolt in, and that just let me kind of, you know, get a placement. And then I ended up just kind of using my strength and lifting the back end up and getting one of the middle bolts in. I believe it's this one right here. Actually, I got that bolt in, and then of course it was after I make sure the gasket was lined kind of semi-tight. I'll kind of show you the clearances and how it looks.
Alright, so here's how we looking fit wise. Not much issue, or not any issue at all. Plenty of clearance right here for the oil cooler. You see that's a good bit of clearance. Nothing touching or rubbing. Like I said, this isn't final tighten, but steering rod's got plenty of room. So this is how it'll be. I went ahead and like I said, I just got the driver's side. I didn't get to the passenger side. That'll be next. And I just went ahead and lowered the rear exhaust, the mid pipe back, because like I said, I think I am gonna have to cut it somewhere around here, if I'm not mistaken. I'm sorry for this focusing camera, but it should be right around here where the H pipe is. I believe I have to cut it, and it'll hopefully slip on right there. I'll also go ahead and try to connect this O2 sensor, since it's already right here. See if I can get that one to come down a little bit, and hopefully I won't have to buy an extension. But as far as that goes, we'll see. Alright, got the O2 sensor connected. You can see the line right there. I think you can see it. I don't know, I guess it's so hot in my garage that freaking phone camera won't cut on, but you should be able to see it right there on the bottom left kind of the screen. That's it, connected. And luckily it's decent slack, but it's not enough slack to where to go and actually lay on the header pipe, so that's cool. Like I said, that's pretty much the driver's side header install. Like I said, once again, I just started by disconnecting the mid pipe from behind the first cat. So connection here, I just undid those two bolts. It's a donut flange, pull that off. Took the O2 sensors off, well, I disconnected them, I left them in. And then I just undid the manifold bolts, and this whole piece came out from under. Kind of just like how the whole header slid up, because it's pretty much the exact same size and dimensions as the header. That's how I got it out. Got it out without undoing the steering rack. However, to put the header in, I did have to undo the steering rack, kind of move it out of the way, and I removed the spark plugs also to give me extra clearance. Got it up there. Put this first bolt in, the front bolt. Got that in. Then I got one of the middle ones in, and then from there it was fine. Got the gasket lined up, and I seized the bolts, and that was it. Like I said, it's still loose at the moment till I get the mid pipes. I want to make sure everything's lined up correctly, so I left it loose to give myself a little extra play. And so now I'm gonna try to tackle the passenger side. I believe it seems like maybe a little more room on the passenger side, maybe. So hopefully this one will go a little just as easy. I ain't gonna say easier because that was actually pretty easy, but just takes time. So I'm gonna try to hit this passenger side up now. Like I said, I already disconnected the mid pipes from behind the first cat. I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna disconnect the manifold bolts. However, with this side, you will also have to disconnect the dipstick. It's bolted to the block. I believe that's a 15 millimeter, maybe 14, but I think it's 15. It's bolted to the block. Then I had to get the dipstick out before I actually remove this manifold. I have to remove it from the oil pan. So like I said, the bolt right there, that should be a 15, and that's just what the bracket's mounted to. And after that, I'll go ahead and undo the manifold bolts, and then I'll get it out. So Got the manifold for the passenger side disconnected. Like I said, I just dropped the whole assembly down with the first cat. You see how I did it? I just kind of set it there. And from there, it is kind of heavy. But I can pretty much just drop it down. That's one whole piece. There you have it. So I managed to get the O2 plug connected. As you see, it's right here. Bam, there it is right there. Like I said, once I took that upper one off the little push tab pin, kind of like this, out, it's going right into another wire loom, and it also has another pin that's very, very close to where the original pin was for the actual sensor bracket or sensor connection. So once I got that out, it gave me just enough room. As you see, this one doesn't have quite as much slack, but it has slack. And so another good thing is it'll keep it off the headers. I don't have to worry about it rubbing on the headers. Yeah, and I can actually put this one back in. I took this one out to kind of try to give myself more visibility. So there you have it. I probably should have ran it on the other side, but I thought it may have been too tight. But I know one thing, I'm not taking it back out. So that's gonna have to work. Like I said, I don't foresee any issues with that. All right, as I told you guys,
I don't know how it is. Maybe it's because of 04, but from the first cat back, from this donut to the rear, it's all welded one piece until I get to the back to the actual mufflers. So, like the example I saw, it was a separation here. It was connected by kind of like V-bands, whatever, from the factory for the second cat. Then of course this connection would have went to the first cat. But like I say, mine was all one piece, so I ended up having to cut this section for the mid pipes to go and connect there. I just wanted to show you all that. I just cut it with I just had a cutting disc, and I just cut it. I'm gonna go through and smooth it out, and because I'm not sure if the mid pipes are gonna go slip over that or have to slip in it. So I think it's supposed to slip inside. So I'm gonna clean it up just to make sure. Like I said, I just cut it there. I'm gonna even it out, smooth it out, and
make it better. Like I said, I did that for both cats, secondary cats. All right, so mid pipes just came in. Everything looks good. Wells on that look fine. So it's got the V-band flange mount right up to the headers. I got the catted version. Just take this stuff off. Let's see, it's slip joint, so this may actually fit over. Let me see, they put the hardware in there. Hang on. So I ran into a bit of a problem. I don't know if this is maybe just a 04 thing. I mean a 2014 model thing, but the exhaust diameter is actually only 2 1/4. This coming out of the cats. This is outside diameter. Reads 2 1/4. Wow. Of course. Mid pipes 2 1/2. So of course when I tried to meet it up, like I say, normally I'll put a link to that page where I saw I can't remember, I think it was like Engine Masters or something, tried this system on SS. I think they had 2015, so maybe I don't know if it's different on 2015s or not, but theirs, like I say, was separated with a band, not welded like mine. So what I ended up having to do for the time being, so I am going to get the rear section of these also anyway. So I had to get a 2 1/2 diameter to a 2 1/4 adapter. So that's what I'm using to link this up for the time being, so hopefully I can at least just hear what it sounds like. And I'll probably end up ordering the rest because I did want the X pipe instead of the H pipe anyway. So I'm gonna go ahead and get this passenger side in. Okay, so I got everything installed. Driver's side, the header, like I said, everything's got clearance. O2 harness is connected. The rear when I plugged it back up. Mid pipe, catted mid pipe. Like I said, the only problem I ran into was back here. And this OEM piping was 2 1/4, and the aftermarket pipe is 2 1/2. So I ended up having to get a step down. I'm gonna clean this up later, and like I said, I end up getting the actual full, probably JBA cat back system as well. So it'll be 2 1/2 to 2 1/2. I just put some regular exhaust clamps on those and some whatever it's called, the exhaust sealant kind of. I'm gonna clean it up a little later. Been out here all day. I'm a little tired now. Passenger side, same deal. Let me see. Looking at it from front to back, looks good. It's up, tucked up nicely. Like I said, I don't see any issues. Actually, besides that one that I had with the mismatch in size. Got the top button back up. Got some sleeves for the spark plug wires. Shouldn't have needed them, I don't think, because they weren't really touching. But like I said, I just got them anyway for extra insurance. Like I said, other than cleaning everything up from the side, like I say, everything tucks up nicely. Say the cats are the only thing that maybe has a little hang down, but like I say, that's just their oval cats. But everything else tucks up perfectly. Like I said, the cats don't hang any lower than the resonator does, so like I said, I shouldn't have any clearance issues. I'm gonna go ahead and get it off these jacks, and we'll hear what it sounds like.